Afternoon traders, and welcome to this Axia stream where we're going to be looking at the execution of one of our elite traders over a comment that was released on the 10th of August at around 1:45, so I think it's 1:47 is the exact time. And it's a comment that's actually released via Twitter by President Trump, so it just kind of demonstrates the new mediums of information that we can draw on and how the very best traders are able to use a spectrum of different places to gain information and trading still quite aggressively on the price ladder. So we're going to be looking at this. It stems from the Turkish theme, the crisis that's currently in play, and he executes primarily in the Bunds but also quite aggressively in the Euro and Dax. So we're going to start by just taking a look at the Lira chart for this day. This was the day the Lira really set off and crashed to an extent from the open. And we're going to be looking specifically just at this candle here. So I only show you the Lira chart because it's something that's quite useful to have up at this time. Following on from the last execution stream that I did with you on the same theme, it's just very useful to have in front of you to give you more conviction in your trade, also to know when to back off if the Lira starts retracing following a comment. So the comment that came out was from Donald Trump: "I've just authorised a doubling of tariffs on steel and aluminium with respect to Turkey as their currency. The Turkish Lira slides rapidly downward against our very strong dollar. Aluminium will now be 20% and steel 50%. Our relations with Turkey are not good at this time." So nothing really good coming out of this tweet for Turkey. And as such, the markets that this trader's looking to execute in is to buy Bunds as like a European safe haven bet, and then to also trade the Euro as the Lira weakens against the dollar. You would expect the Euro to also come off as well, and also the Dax, so European Equity Index. In this situation, it's going to be hit by these tariffs and really should mirror the move that the Euro's doing. So we're looking for a move up in Bunds and a move down in Euro and Dax. So just going to switch to the price ladder now. This isn't a very long trade, so we're just going to watch it play in. So I just want you to take note, this trader's already looking at shorting. Cool. So this trader's already looking at shorting the Dax and the Euro even before this comment's come out, but just want to rewind this quickly because I just skipped through that. So we're going to see as the comment comes out, the first market that he executes in is the Bunds. So just pay attention. We're trading as the comment comes out. I will play this in a second. Around 0102s, and in the Euro we are trading around this 82s area, and in the Dax around this 27, 28s area. So I just find it quite useful when looking at his execution and seeing which markets he believes are lagging and still looking to get heavy into potentially in that second phase, which is what you'll see here in the Euro, where each market is pulled back to relative to the opening price when the comment comes out. So okay, so you see the comment comes out, he hits 80 lots into the Bunds, and then at market another 80 up to 160 lots, and also 20 lots into the Euro. So he's hit at market, lifting prices up from 01s, 02s up to 04s in the Bunds, and he's now at 240 odd lots and starting to scale out. In the Euro, he's not executed quite as aggressively, but he's got 16 lots away short, and in the Dax, he's got 10 lots away short. So just going to watch to see how he manages this position as he goes on side. In the bunds, really, from this comment, as you see the lira really quickly start to depreciate against the dollar, as we saw in that chart previously, he's looking for this to move up and really looking for this to take the highs. I think that's a decent target that you would expect, considering the price action that you're going to see as this goes forward. So initially the bunds don't react very quickly. They bid up a few ticks and then it really starts to get going. You can see the euro coming off, Dax holding a little bit steady, but straight away the euro is bid up probably 10, 11 ticks before he starts working out some of his size. Just going to pause it here. So bunds have bid up to around 13, 14. Really you would hope that before pulling back, this would maybe pop the high and then come back, and then maybe the squeeze would come in. Squeeze is coming quite early, and we could see that on the Lira chart. There was a really quick retracement and a deep retracement back towards the opening price. Now Euro's not really gone that far, so he's actually worked a little bit more size into this euro position as this starts to pull back. Dax is still on side, and I think this is where, you know, he was seeing the Dax coming off and thinking that the euro hadn't really done that much. So you'll see him start to work quite a bit of size into this euro position. I think he gets up to close to 100 lots. So considering how thin it is relative to the bunds, it's a pretty significant position to have on. That being said, in his bund position, he's worked out from those 240 lots very quickly. So it's been a bit of a smash and grab. He didn't manage to get as much of his size away, or get as much of his bunds back to sell off his position in this region. So he started working out between these 10s and 11s. You see the bunds have come back and they're starting to hold. Dax is still lower than its opening price. And as this euro position comes back towards his opening price, he's actually gone to market up to 50 lots, dragged his average price down as the Dax continues to move down. So he's obviously looking for some sort of blip down in the euro, which hasn't come as of yet, but as long as he's seeing the Dax pushing lows and the bunds holding above that initial opening price of around 01s, 02s, you know, he's looking to really leverage up in this euro position. Dax still coming off, and this is where you start to see him getting even more aggressive, really wanting to take some more out. The 77, 78s area in the euros holding quite well, and we're seeing bunds push up towards the high. So he's looking for, as the bunds push up towards the high, potentially just blip through the high for the euro just to have a spike down, which is where he's got quite a lot of size on now in the euro. So you can see he's up to 86 lots in the euro. So the bunds are pushing the high, although he doesn't have a large position in here. He's kind of seeing that, right, bunds are now 10 ticks roughly to 12 ticks from their opening price. The Dax is down maybe 10 or so ticks from where his average price was, but really potentially just a little bit more to be done in this euro. So really now what you're really looking to see is for these bunds to pop the higher now. The fact that they don't, and as the Lira continues to pull back from the initial move from the comment, you know, the trader takes the decision to actually get out, scratch a large proportion of his euro position, as it's kind of demonstrating that Dax is pushing back up towards the opening price. You know, there's no need to really hold a large position offside in the euro. You've made some good money in the bunds. You're up probably 10, 15k or so overall, and now it's a matter of managing what you have on left and not really trying to push it too hard in this second phase, as the Turkish lira has pulled back and really was holding before that next phase and that next flow. So just want to go back, if I can. So this is the 1 minute Lira chart from this move, and you can just see, say we're looking at this starting around this level, the pullback was really significant, although it did hold before continuing upwards. However, for this type of trade, for this type of comment, a real aggressive move, you know, the Lira had been quite volatile all day. You weren't really looking necessarily to hold large position for an extended trend move. It's a smash and grab, and as this came back, you're not really seeing this hold, you know, towards the highs or pushing higher immediately. You don't know how far it's going to come back, and as such you really want to manage your position as you start to see this retrace, potentially more than you would otherwise have expected.